Hey y'all, good night. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sharifa, and my poetry name is New Lily. If you're new, please check out the links located in the description box and comment section. And in both of those locations, you'll find an identical set of links that lead to videos that talk about what started my targeting in 2020, links that lead to videos that talk about the technological devices utilized on targets, and links that lead to videos that talk about the tactics used on targets. Check it out, y'all. I took my time and I put together a comprehensive set of videos for you all because I empathize with you. I wish I had known some of the stuff that I know now when my targeting first started. I would be in a much better way had I known what I know now earlier in my targeting. So that's why I'm so adamant about sharing certain things with my viewers, because yeah, I have other people viewing that I would like to make aware of the targeted individual situation. Also, too, advocating for myself, right? But it's also for the targets because I empathize with you. I know there are more and more of you every day. And I know that this thing is gearing up. You know, we are in the end times right now. Like, this is prophecy, some of the things that I'm seeing in this targeting. So this is why I'm so adamant about sharing certain things, because I want you all to be aware and know what you're dealing with. It will help so much. Like I would have been in a much better state right now had I known before I flew and quit my 2 jobs, had I known before I flew and tried to relocate to the mainland where the damn thing originates from. You know, I would have moved so different had I known some of the things I know now. Even something as simple as knowing about these insect drones, i.e. MAVs, which is an acronym for micro air vehicles. Had I known about these things, you know, that could have saved me money, time, energy too. You don't understand the turmoil, right? For months that I went through trying to figure out how I was being surveilled covertly and overtly everywhere I went. In my apartment, you know, I couldn't figure out how they were watching me. You know, I purchased camera finders, couldn't find the cameras. If I had known about these drones back then, before my targeting amped up, and I was as locked in as I am now, and when I had more financial security, I could have purchased the shielding paint to shield my room. I could have purchased a jammer. There are so many different options, especially if your targeting isn't as invasive as mine is now. Anyways, y'all, I'm not trying to go off on a tangent. It won't be a long video. I actually didn't intend to do another video for a while. You know, I was taking a little break from the videos. I told y'all in my last video, of those of you that got to see it, I took the video down. You know, I talked about or documented something that took place on a day where I had to meet with the higher ups for my job. You know, I was just documenting some things and, you know, talking about the fact that I felt like, you know, I was possibly called in because of that video that I created, where I was talking about how they keep throwing the serial killer stimuli at me and also the ALS stimuli at me. So I just put together a video providing demographics to show why I wouldn't fall in line with any of those things that they were throwing at me, why I wouldn't have ALS, why it would be like damn near, I wouldn't say impossible, but like some sort of astronomical event, right? Astronomically strange event for me to get that, because it's so rare. It would be so rare for me to catch something like that. This is why I showed you all the demographics. I'd quicker win the lottery than excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. I would quicker win the lottery than catching ALS. I would quicker win the lottery than being a serial killer. This is why I was showing y'all the demographics, right? I was just trying to show you how the nonsense, right? You know how they send you nonsense that doesn't pertain to you. So this is what I was just advocating for myself, really. So let me continue though, y'all. I'm sorry I'm getting distracted. There's a lot going on tonight at work. That's all I'm gonna say. I wasn't even intending to make videos at work anymore because of that meeting that happened with the higher ups, right? So the point of me saying what I'm saying is I feel like the meeting that I documented, that I took down, for those of you that saw it, if you didn't see it, you know, I did do a little documentation talking about what happened in that meeting and why I think it happened. I think it was because of that video I made, because it was literally the day after I made that video. That was when they called me into the office. And it was just, again, reactive abuse, me reacting to them constantly with the shadow networking software, throwing that stimuli at me about being a serial killer, heinous things like that, you know, using the shadow networking to use subliminal messaging to basically insinuate that I had that personality type, that of a serial killer. When some of these people running around in this program, I believe, could fall in line with that personality type. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them are just, trying to be in things, getting involved because it's entertaining. Nothing like this has ever been on island before. Maybe through the course of my targeting, I said something that was offensive to them. Again, reactive abuse. You can't really determine or predict how somebody's going to react when they're angry and you have thousands and thousands of people antagonizing them 24/7. It's a satanic program. But regardless, I've never dealt with what I dealt with tonight, y'all. That's the point, because I'm going off on a tangent. I'm just trying to, you know what I do? I always give y'all a little intro, and sometimes I go too in depth with the intro. I'm just trying to reference what happened, though, with that last video that I took down. There was a video up about that meeting that I had with my job, and I believe that meeting took place because of the video I made where I provided demographics about serial killers and people that catch ALS, trying to show you that I don't fit the demographics. And I was just doing that to advocate for myself and for documentation purposes. And then towards the end of the video, because race was brought up in the video, and because I know I'm on thin ice when it comes to race, due to some of the offensive Hebrew Israelite propaganda that I shared in the privacy of my vehicle in Florida, but the vehicle was bugged and I was being harassed and surveilled nonstop, right? I had actually initially, I keep saying this, put on Hebrew Israelite videos about spiritual protection and about basically spiritual warfare, because I felt like something spiritual was at play. I still do. I think some sort of spiritual attack is taking place. There's no ands of ors about it. Too much has happened here on this island that I'm from, where I've never seen anybody targeted or going through anything near what I'm going through. There have been murderers here on island. There have been rapists. There have been pedophiles. You name it here on island. There have been people who have dabbled in witchcraft for real here on island. I've seen a lot of stuff, y'all. I'm 32. I grew up on this island, and I've never seen anything like what's going on here with me. So, and I'm not the first person to say offensive shit either. So that it's just not adding up. Something ain't right. I've been saying it, right? But anyways, I'm not going to go too deep into that thing there, right? I think something spiritual is at play. But that's what was going on in my vehicle in Florida. I was trying to look for spiritual protection. And in my household growing up, what that looked like for me was being Hebrew. So I was looking up Hebrew videos talking about spiritual protection and protection from spiritual warfare. I was taking off anything that sounded offensive, because I am aware that Hebrew Israelite content can be offensive, some of it. So anything that sounded like it was offensive, I was taking it off very quickly. The gang stalkers were on 10 in Florida. They were wildin', right? They were coming in by my vehicle where I was parked. I was parked behind a Dollar Tree, right near a neighborhood, off in the cut by the bush. They're coming in there by the parking lot, harassing me, throwing stones at my vehicle from the bush. There was a bush directly to the right of my vehicle. Some of them were hiding in the bush, throwing stones at my vehicle, literally like the proverbial, like the Bible says, throwing stones. Thou without sin cast the first stone. They were throwing stones at my vehicle, literally, right? Them pulling up all next to me, right? Pulling up and coming out, the vehicle and doing all kinds of weird stuff, harassing me. And so that was where the anger started. And I stopped watching the videos for me, and I started watching the videos to engage the gang stalkers. This is why I say it's a satanic program, because it's meant to invoke wrath out of the target. They took what was a spiritual moment between me and the Most High. It wasn't private, obviously, but what was supposed to be a spiritual moment between me and the Most High, and they perverted it. And my anger and my wrath, because of what they were doing, took over. And I started to share offensive Hebrew Israelite propaganda on purpose. I've been very real about that. I started sharing offensive content on purpose in reaction. It's called reactive abuse. Look it up, y'all. I put a video up about it. Check out, scroll down, check out my videos. It's literally a gaslighting form of abuse. And that's what's used in this program, where you're antagonized, you're harassed, and then you eventually snap and react, however that snap looks or however that reaction looks. And then you get painted as the bad guy, and they focus on your reaction and not what caused the reaction. It's a satanic program. I can't say it enough. So anyways, that's what led to my targeting getting even more freaking, it was already blown up. I already told y'all, it blew up for 3 different reasons. I'm not going to go into the details again. I've told this story a million times now, and I have a bad habit of doing this, right? But just understand that's where the Hebrew Israelite propaganda came into play, and where the racial element, that wasn't the start of it. The start of the racial element was when I was in Indiana, right? And then it trickled down to when I went to Florida and I was sitting in my vehicle and I was trying to get spiritual protection from the Most High. That was where things hit the fan. Anyway, so fast forwarding now to that video that I recently created. Y'all, I think it was not the last video, the video before that, right? I think it's called Part 2 Sensitization, something, whatever, right? Where I was just documenting the fact that they keep throwing the serial killer stimuli at me and the ALS threat at me, right? They keep throwing that at me. So I showed the demographics to show you all that I wouldn't fall in line with either of those things at all. Like nowhere near anything like that, right? And it's not just to say like because I don't fall in line with the demographics, specifically with the serial killer thing. I wanted you to understand how rare it is for anybody to have that personality type. It doesn't matter what your demographic is. It doesn't matter even if you do fall in line with the demographics of that small ass population of people. You're still not likely to be somebody that has that personality type. It's so freaking rare for anybody to have that personality type. And then in addition to that being a rare personality type, on top of things, I don't fall in line with the demographic of those who do fall into that category. And I was just sharing that for advocation of me and so that they'd stop sending me the nonsense. And then in the background doing the noise campaigns when they're sending me the nonsense. With the ALS, that's actually for my protection. Because with this technology, they can do anything with your DNA. They can actually change your DNA with this technology. These are little microscopic robots that they're inserting into you, right? They're so small that they can cross the blood-brain barrier, right? And once they do, and they're in your bloodstream, they can do anything. They hook up to the nervous system. They can change your DNA, right? They can morph and change and mutate DNA in addition to a bevy of other things. I've documented it. I've shown y'all about this technology. They have patents for it. It's been around for a long time. The nano has been around for a long time. They've been showing you it in movies for a long time. Check out Stepford Wives. Check out the movie Stepford Wives. So this is some high science, advanced technology that they're using, and they've had decades to perfect it. So I want you to understand when they're sending me stuff, you know, I don't care if they try to make it like it's trolling, about freaking autoimmune diseases and degenerative diseases, I don't take that lightly. So this is why I made the video and I'm showing you the demographics of people who catch ALS, and I don't fall in line with it because of race. I don't fall in line with it because of age. I don't fall in line with it because of gender. Not saying that women don't catch it, but less women catch it than men. More men catch it than women. In addition to the fact that I'm not in the age group that catches it. And unfortunately, this specific ailment affects a specific race, right? And there are ailments that affect my race. Do your research. There are ailments that majority, if you look at the percentage of people who catch it, majority of the people who catch it are of my race. So this just happens to be one of those ailments that affects a different race. But it's not me trying to offend that race, but because of the things I said in the past, I'm on thin ice. Anything I say about race is a problem, even if I'm just advocating for myself because these people are actively sending me creepy stuff. You know, everything's a problem. So that's why I started kind of talking about race in that last video. And then I even went as far as to share a Hebrew Israelite video, a very short clip from one of the guys that I was sharing the offensive content from in my vehicle in Florida. You know, I think that was taken out of context. You know, I think, you know, they're not ever catching the message because they're so busy looking for problems. I think they felt like I was sharing it to give some sort of a lesson on scripture when that's not what that was about. I was sharing it to show you that even some of the people that subscribe to that offensive content that I was sharing in my car in Florida, now years later have had a change of heart. And they believe that everybody has grace, and they even have somebody of every race in their congregation. That's why I shared that. And I was showing that he was even sharing a Jewish man that was cooperating with him on whatever their belief system was. So it's just like this unity now that's happening within the Hebrew community in some camps. Some of them that had that belief system that I shared in my car in Florida, the offensive stuff. And then there are some Hebrews who have always been of the belief that everybody had grace. You have different denominations of Hebrew. I've never been the kind to share offensive stuff. I don't care what you believe. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care. I shared this stuff in my vehicle because I was angry. That's it, period. I was angry. Anyway, you can even see I showed y'all the post before I left Island. There was no motive for me to share that post. I had no foresight. I couldn't foretell that I was going to leave Island and share offensive Hebrew Israelite propaganda and that it would blow my targeting up more. I had no foresight. I couldn't foresee that. I genuinely sat there. This was when I was still teaching in 2021. I made a Thanksgiving meal. And I posted on Facebook, no matter what your belief is or your belief system is, I hope everybody's enjoying this holiday. And I said, although I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I wanted to be in things and eat copious amounts of yummy food too. I have a video where I shared the post with y'all. So, this is bullshit. This is not something I have a history of doing. I was in a vicarious situation. I was being harassed and stalked by thousands of individuals, and I reacted in anger. And it's crazy that I'm being punished to this level. When there are people who have actually murdered people here on Island who have never been punished to this level. It doesn't make sense. Something ain't adding up. I keep saying it feels spiritual. Anyway, I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying, though. So that's why I posted that video, y'all. And that's why I kind of started talking about the Hebrew Israelite stuff towards the end, and I shared that little clip. It wasn't for me to push scripture or to get people to believe in being Hebrew. I don't give a shit what you believe. I don't even care if you're atheist. I don't care. I don't. I give zero fucks. Excuse my language. That's not why I shared that. But anyway, I believe that caused some sort of retribution, and I was called into I don't want to say retribution. Let me be careful with my words in these videos. I don't want to put myself in more of a problem and end up losing my job, God forbid, and all this other crazy stuff. But I believe that riled up, something with some people, and I think maybe that's possibly why I was called into the office. I'm not sure. So I made this video documenting what took place, and I realized now, let me take that down, because some of these videos do cause, problems for me, and I can't afford to lose this job. So I was like, let me just take it down. I took the video down. But after taking that video down, because I went into this whole mantra to explain to you all why I hadn't intended to put a video up again for a while. After I took that video down, I said, you know what, let me stay clear of posting these videos for a while. Let me take a break, even though this is the best countermeasure to what's being done to me. And I don't intend to stop as long as I'm in this program. This is my protection. I don't want to push myself to a point where, I'm back in the same space I was last year where I had no employment. So I said, let me take my time and just, take it easy. And if something absolutely crazy happens, like what happened just now that I'm about to talk about, that I need to document, then I'll document it. But I'm going to take a break from these videos. That's how I felt. I took the video down and I was cool. And I put a song up, that I just created a poem. And I left it there and I wasn't going to post nothing for a while again. Anyways, hear them barking. The reason I got awkward, y'all, is because I got backlash. Let me talk about that song real quick, too, that I posted. Because you know how they like to create stuff with everything, right? With that poem, they sit here and they stare at me all night long. Not everyone, but there's a lot of them that's doing it. The government, people, officials, whoever that's in vehicles around that's watching me, they know what I'm saying is true. It was in the wee hours of the morning the other day where I'm here at work. I'm sitting there scrolling through my YouTube and I saw this song called Tattoo Tears in my recommended. They threw it at me. I haven't heard that song in years. Back, I want to say in my mid-20s, maybe 25, 26, around that age. My younger sister is the one who showed me that song. She sent it to me. She and I used to swap songs. We were close back in the day. And so we have the similar taste in music. It's a little different, but we have a similar taste in music. We like some of the same genres. So she sent me that song, Tattoo Tears, years ago. And it was on my playlist. I haven't heard that song in years. I haven't even listened to that playlist. I have so many playlists on YouTube, music playlists that I don't even listen to anymore. So I'm just scrolling through my YouTube and I saw the song and I said, wait a minute. I said, they're sending me in my recommended songs from my playlist. I said, this is the third song. I thought this. I didn't say this out loud. And I know the people who were up heard me think this. They were even making the bird go off when I actually hit play on it. So I said, wow. I said, this is the third or fourth song that they've sent me from one of my old playlists. I said, I wonder what they're doing now. So I said, I want to add this, but let me make sure it's not problematic. Because, sometimes they'll send me songs, even if it's not from an old playlist, that has stimuli or innuendos or some sort of something weird shit in it, right? So I played it and I didn't even listen to the full song. I just heard the chorus and I listened to the beginning. I said, oh, this song. I said, I love this song. I didn't even remember the context of the song. I just remember tattoo tears, da, 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 whatever it is, the chorus. And I was like, oh, I remember this song. You know, I said, so-and-so sent this to me years ago. I thought the thought. I didn't say this out loud. My thoughts are being projected. Remember, with the neuromonitoring, high science technology. Anyway, so I said, let me make a remix to this. I just randomly on a whim. I wasn't listening to music. I had no plan to make a song. I was sitting there randomly watching videos on YouTube while they're staring at me as usual. I just randomly on a whim said, let me make a remix to this. Y'all know how I've been doing that? How I'll take the chorus to songs and then I'll use the Vocaloid, right? I'll use the auto-tune to remix the chorus and then I'll write a poem to go along with it. I'm not even making real songs, y'all. I'll have like one chorus and I'll have one verse, if anything, right? That's it. It's not a real song. I'm not making real music. I'm a poet. I'm not a musician. So anyways, y'all, I decided to make a song for it. I just opened up my little auto-tune app. The thing had even expired, the subscription. That's how long I haven't used it. And I somehow was able to get the free trial again. I don't know why. It's like the thing was malfunctioning or glitching. I don't know. I was grateful. But I was able to get the free trial again. They saw all of this happen, by the way, y'all. This is what I'm telling you. They'll see shit and they'll still create stuff just for the hell of it. So anyways, I went on there and I started playing around with the chorus and tattoo tears and playing around with it. And I looked for a beat that I could use with the chorus that I was now coming up with, how I was saying it with the auto-tune. I was saying it a little different to how it said in the song. So I found this dope ass beat. I just literally went into YouTube and I started typing in beats and going through them. They saw me do this until I heard a beat that I felt would go good with it. I have a good ear for music. I always have, right? I'm sorry for the loud noise, y'all. There's a lot of gang stalkers out tonight. But I'm still going to say what I'm saying. They have one, right? There's this one. I've talked about him in my prior videos that they put out here sometimes. I don't know why they put him out here tonight. When I first came, y'all, they had him sitting there. They have one posted back there that was sitting there. This was before I had the interaction that I'm actually making the video for. I'm going to get there in a second. Why I'm even making this video in the first place. I'm going to get there. I saw two of them posted. I even thought the thought in my head, why do they have two of them on me tonight? I said, what's going on? I said, why are there two of them on me tonight? Now I'm sitting here making the video. There's somebody sitting right on top of me. I'm so desensitized now, y'all, to the point where I could talk about something and the gang stalker could be staring at me and I don't care at this point because I'm dealing with this 24/7 and I know they know what's going on. So I don't care at this point. I'm dealing with this crazy shit and the stalking and stuff. I don't care at this point. Like the shame box and the care box is completely gone. I don't care. Anyway, so please excuse though if you hear noise in the background. That's what that is. So anyway, let me quickly wrap this up though. Yeah, I don't want to be making videos at work. They already started trying to give this directive that I really don't want to be enforced. So let me really try to, I already said I was going to stay clear of these videos for a while and definitely not make any at work. But I feel like I have to document what just took place at the gas station, y'all. That's what this whole video is about. But I'm giving you this long, in-depth intro like I always do because there's I have to segue into what took place. Anyway, and I kind of wanted to give y'all a little explanation for why I took down the last video. I'm trying to remember what I was saying though. With the song, the Tattoo Tear song. So I found a dope ass beat, right, that went along with it, that I felt went good with the chorus I was trying to create. And I put it together. And then I wrote a poem, a very minute poem, a little small, whatever, slapped it together. And that's the problem. They're making noise campaign about the chorus, tattoo tears and this and that. Like trying to create stuff as usual. I'm like, y'all saw when they threw this on me. I could see if they saw me like purposely look up the song, right? And then put it together. I could see if they saw me do that and then they tried to create something. And I'd be like, okay, well, try to explain. They saw the thing pop into my newsfeed randomly while I was watching YouTube videos. It was in my recommended. They heard me think the thought, wait a minute. They're starting to send me old songs from my old playlist. They even sent me Division and Snow Allegra. I don't know if you're familiar with those two artists. A song from them that I just recently put on my playlist too. I didn't make a song for that, but I put it on my playlist. And I even thought then, wow, they're starting to dig through like my old playlist and throw it into my recommended. This is weird. They heard me think the thought. They saw it in my recommended. They saw me impromptu decide to make a poem. They're still going to try to create stuff. It's weird. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that song because they started making noise just now when I told y'all, wait a minute, no, the last video I posted was the song. So that's why I went into detail about that. I did kind of want to talk about that bullshit. Anyway, So let me get into what this video is about tonight, y'all. I just wanted to give y'all an explanation for why the last video was taken down and why I hadn't intended to put a video up again for a while. I was going to take a little break from videos. But what happened, I felt like I needed to document. I got plate number, I got face, everything. I don't even be putting these gang stalkers on blast like that, where I'm getting the face and the plate number and stuff. I felt like that nigga needed to be put on blast because he obviously wanted clout and I'm going to give it to him, right? Because you pulling up like that, playing that kind of evil shit, you're staring at me in my face, you're wearing the thick ass hot ass sweater, which is indicative of some sort of mental something going on, spiritual possession, whatever it is, you know. So I'm gonna give you the attention you wanted, right? And I'm gonna show you in my video, and I'm gonna show your plate number and everything because I feel threatened. So he pulls up, right, with this vehicle, this truck, you know, and as soon as I pull up there, you know, vroom vroom, you know, come next to me, vroom vroom, right, and hesitate by my vehicle, and then he pulls up to the gas tank a little past my vehicle, and he's blasting this song about kill switch, kill this, kill bitch, kill whatever loud, you know, lump-a-dump evil shit coming out of his vehicle. It's blasting too, so he has to be deaf. So he comes out the vehicle and he has like this smirk on his face as he looks into my vehicle, and I see this big thick ass hot ass army sweater on, right? And it's not real army either. It's one of those sweaters you buy at the store, one of those bootleg sweaters. You know, like I said, it looked like some off-brand sweater. So I'm just like, okay, so you wanted to gang stalk so bad. You saw me pull up. I was on a good energy, right? I pulled up. I didn't say anything negative to anybody, minding my business. Didn't make a video today. Today was a good day. I went to the gym. I had a pretty decent day today, right? They're all watching like it's a freaking movie. Pull up to work. I had a decent interaction with the coworker. You know, said a few words to him. He went off about his business. Every night they see me do this, right? I'm trying to stop, actually. You know, the gas station guy's cool. It's nothing with him. I'm trying to save my money, though. I'm supposed to be eating at home. It's really just that I keep, you know, slacking off with the diet. I'm consistent with the working out, but with the diet part, I'm having trouble staying consistent. I'm tired, too. You know, sometimes I don't feel like cooking. So a lot of times I come here to work and I slide over to the gas station to get something to eat or something to drink, which is a waste of money. I'm not trying to waste money every night like that, but that's kind of become habitual for me. They're watching me like clockwork. They know my routine back to front. You know what's creepy? I just watched the movie Watchers. That was in the movies the other day. And of course they inserted a little with the Shadow Network and a little something, right? In one of the scenes where the guy was talking about, you know, he was emulating for the Watchers. You have to watch the movie to know what's going on in it. Yeah, I don't have time to break it down for you. But where he was in front of the window talking to the watchers that were watching them, he said, "What's so-and-so gonna do tonight?" He said, is she gonna refuse her food again? Is she gonna eat it? Is she gonna this and that? You know, this is what he's saying, and he's wearing a plaid shirt. They made him, this was where the shadow networking came into play. They made him wear a plaid shirt. But just teasing me about the fact that these people are watching my life like it's freaking entertainment, like it's an actual movie. They know my routine. You know, if I ate spinach last night and I threw it up, tonight if I eat it again, they might be sitting there wondering, is she going to throw it up tonight? You know, that kind of weird shit like that is taking place with this, right? So anyways, I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. I keep getting distracted with the stupid noises in the background. I forgot what I was going to say. My God. Y'all know I got ADD too. So they know, that's all I'm saying is they know my routine. They know it and they know it back to front. So at this point now, even though I'm trying to cut that out, you know, so I can save money and stuff and really stick to the diet that I have planned for myself, at the moment, habitually, when I come into work, I slide over to the gas station. So they know this well. So if they want to gang stalk and you know, put together some sort of routine or whatever it is, or some sort of theater, right, to harass or antagonize me, they can do that. They're not too bad with it. Like sometimes they'll pull up just to annoy me because they know I try not to pull up when people are there just because I'm trying to avoid gang stalking. You know, typically I don't care if you pull up to the gas station or not when I wasn't targeted. The gas station is there for everybody to use. I'm not unreasonable. I'm not crazy. But with my targeting and the things that take place at this point, especially at certain times, especially at night when I'm, you know, trying to protect my energy and I have to sit here all night long, I don't want to have a stupid interaction like what just happened just now at the gas station with a gang stalker, and then my whole night's ruined. So I try not to go in there when people are there. You know, like if I pull up and I see people, I might wait until they leave, that type of thing. Tonight, nobody was there. I pulled up, I didn't see any vehicles. You know, I saw a few people sitting outside. Soon as I pull up, this guy, like, he orchestrated this. Like, he had probably planned this all day and all night. He was sitting there thinking about how this was going to unfold, right? Pull up in his thick ass, hot ass army sweater, right? I can't get over it, dude. He's wearing a shirt underneath. It's so fucking hot, y'all. Let me show y'all a screenshot. I took a screenshot of the temperature for y'all to see how hot it is, right? Okay, y'all can see it's 84 degrees, right? It's hot as hell. It's 84 degrees. It's freaking hot, right? I'm wearing my security shirt and I'm feeling hot. I have a sweater here just because I sit out here all night, and when you get to the wee hours of the morning, like around 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, it does get a little nippy sometimes. Not recently since it's been hot as hell, but sometimes. It's hot. It's not the kind of weather that you're going to be wearing a sweater in. He's wearing a shirt, right? So it's not even to say he's just wearing the sweater. He's wearing a shirt underneath. Then he has this thick-ass, off-brand army sweater on that looks like he just purchased just a GANGSTALK, right? He pulls up. I told y'all what happened. I pulled up at the gas station. Nobody was there. He kind of hesitates and does this rum rum by my truck, and then he pulls up by the tank, and he's blasting this song about kill switch, kill bitch, kill this, kill that. I'm like, first of all, I don't even know you, sir. Kill? Like, you want to kill somebody that doesn't even know you exist? Is that serious for you? You need to pray, sir. Something's wrong. There's a spirit on you. Anyway, so you pulling up on that energy. You come out and you're wearing the thick-ass off-brand sweater in this hot weather. That was already, to me, indicative of some sort of mental incapacitation. Like something's wrong, right? He looks in the vehicle. He does this little smirk thing, right? So I'm just like, okay, so you planned this out all night long, probably all day long, thought about how you were going to buy this little cheap off-brand sweater with the army fatigue, pull up when I pull up, blast in the kill switch thing to get a reaction, and then look into my vehicle and have a moment. So I'm giving you the moment. I'm full on giving you the moment you wanted, right? So then he comes out, he goes into the gas station. You know I wasn't going in there with that demon. I sat in my vehicle and I waited for him to come out. He comes out. Of course, I started recording. I don't typically record gang stalkers. I don't do that. You know, I sometimes will take pictures, but I don't put it in my videos. I try not to do that, right? Because that could cause problems for me in a way, you know? So I try not to do that. It's like I'm not that... I'm not that, I don't want to say mean. It's not that I'm mean, because what they're doing is mean. So I'm not going to gaslight myself and say mean, but I'm not to the point where I'm trying to put people on blast like that. I don't do that. But with this guy, like, I feel threatened, first of all. And second of all, he clearly wanted to have a moment. So I'm like, let me put him in here and give him the moment he wanted, right? So I got plate number, I got face, everything, and his truck for you to see. So he pulls up, and I'm just making this video when he comes out. I'm like, y'all see the demonic energy? Y'all see what you deal with this program and how some of them have spirits on them? I was just saying whatever commentary I was saying in the video. But let me share the video with y'all. So you can even hear towards the end of the video, you can hear the song that's blasting out of his vehicle. And then when I started talking about him, and I guess he realized that I was recording him, then he goes into his phone and he switches into, if I shoot you in your mouth, what you saying now? You know, like some of them really demonic, man. Like some of them have some real spirits on them. You talking about shooting them. I'm not even that type of person. I'm not even violent. I don't get with the violence and the shooting, and I don't live like that. That's not the kind of heart I have. I'm not into murder. I don't believe in murder, and I don't believe in shooting people. As much as these people annoy the shit out of me, some of them, himself, even if I had a gun and I could blast his brains out and not get in trouble for it, I still wouldn't do it. Now, if you gave me a bat and let me whop him atop his head, right, and then I not get in trouble, I might do that. But I would never shoot somebody or hurt anybody. I don't have that kind of heart. So you on this murderous rampage and this mindset for what? I didn't hurt you. I didn't do anything to you. I don't know you. And you don't realize you have a spirit on you? And then you're wearing this thick-ass, off-brand army sweater in the heat just to gang stalk? At least put the little army hat on like some of them do. Or the army pants. Don't put on a big, thick-ass sweater in this hot weather. Trying to have a moment. All right, let me go ahead and play the video. Now, y'all, at this beginning part, he had just gone into the gas station, and I'm still like reeling at what had just taken place with what he's playing out of his truck and how he did that little rev thing and then came on and looked into my, the whole thing seemed orchestrated, right? So at this point now, he went inside, and I decided, let me record his ass. So this is what's taking place. Y'all, some demon pulled up to the freaking gas station, right? I pulled up to work. I'm on some good energy, talked to my coworker. Pulled up like I always do to the gas station to get a few things. Somebody with some demonic spirit on them pulls up, right? Blasting some shit out of a truck about kill switch. Have a big hot ass, looks like a Coogee, I should say bougie, right, or Muji, because it looks bootleg, it doesn't look like its name brand. Sweater on that you would wear in the winter time, right? Because it's hot as hell down here on island. It's summertime, first of all. Second of all, we're on an island, right? Look at how he looks. Look how he looks. Get a good look at him. Now notice this symbolic nose squeeze that he did. That's something that a lot of the gang stalkers do. Now it's indicative of multiple things. It's them teasing me for talking up in my nose. I've explained to y'all already about the health issue that I have. It's not really a health issue. It's a deformity, one that I'm very open about and I'm not ashamed of. You even heard me reference it in my last song. If you listen to my No Tears lyrics, you'll hear me say the fact that they say I sound like Squidward, right? I even had this kind of like camaraderie ship with my students when I was teaching, where even though I had like this friendship with my students, I knew for a fact that there was this little joke about how I talk up in my nose. I even used to talk about it with them and laugh with them about it. Because if you don't laugh at yourself, then you're going to be like a Muppet in the corner crying at every little thing. You can't be insecure about everything, and this is something I've had my whole lifetime. I have some sort of thing going on with my nostrils. I explained this to y'all in several videos, right, where the turbines are thicker than the average nostril. When I was a child, my mom took me to the doctor because my nose is always stuffy. Doctor said that I needed surgery. She gave me the option. I didn't want it. I'm into holistic health. I'm not into altering the body. I'm not into plastic surgery. No disrespect to anybody that is. Everyone has the right to do what they want with their body. The most I gave is free choice. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just letting you know from my standpoint, I'm not into that stuff. So I can deal with a low stuffy nose. So anyways, that's what's going on with me talking up in my nose. And this is why y'all hear me apologize to y'all sometimes about it. But that's what the pinch nose is about. And then also the reference of them lying and trying to insinuate that I stink, which I've talked about in several videos. So it's kind of turned into like this symbolic thing in my targeting with some gang stalkers. Well, they'll pinch their nose and it's really just a bullying tactic. So he does that as he comes out. I'm assuming while he was in the gas station, he's probably staring at me on his phone, trying to see whatever reaction he was able to invoke, because that's what it was about. And so when he came out, I guess he realized I was recording. He did a little symbolic pinch of the nose. Anyway, let me finish playing for y'all. Look at the sweater. Look how thick his sweater is, right? Just the gang stuff. Look at the sweater. Listen to the song. Now, do y'all see how thick the sweater is? Now, mind you, this man had a shirt on underneath. He wore a regular hat, no print. Why didn't you do what some of these other people do, since it's summertime and it's hot, right? And put on the little army fatigue pants or the little shoes or the hat. They got all kind of army fatigue now. This seems to be the new plaid that they're doing now. Why didn't you get with it, right? And actually try to wear something that would fit what's going on as far as the weather goes. Because for me, putting on a thick ass sweater was indicative of some sort of mental incapacitation. But anyways, let me go ahead and continue. So at this point now, y'all, you can see him going in the vehicle. He knows I'm recording at this point, right? He's going in the vehicle. He's switching the song from kill switch, kill bitch, whatever the evil shit the thing was chanting and saying, to something about if I shoot you in the mouth, like real evil stuff. I don't get with that stuff. I don't live that type of lifestyle. That's not the energy I'm on. I'm not into that type of stuff. I've never been into violent rap, and I've never been into that type of energy. I don't get with that type of stuff, y'all. I don't get with that type of stuff. So you're coming at somebody that's not even on that frequency. And I don't mean to use that word, but understand the world is on a natural frequency, because you'll hear about how some stupid shit that happened with a frequency last year. They're using man-made frequencies in this program. What they're microchipping you with is the RFID chip. That's an acronym for radio frequency identifier. So they're using man-made frequencies to run the technology. On these 5G cell towers, what do you think is pinging to your cell phone? Man-made frequencies. The earth is on a natural frequency. Look it up. The earth is on a natural frequency. So when I say I'm not on the same frequency as you, I mean I'm not on whatever satanic frequency you're on. I'm on a different frequency. So I'm not with the violent, talking about shooting in the mountain, shooting and this. I don't live like that. So you're already coming on this evil energy. I don't even live like that. Anyways, let me continue. I just like to put them on blast when they come through with the wicked shit, right? Especially when they look like that, right? You see how the sweater looks. Thick ass sweater. I'm telling you, this is some 90-degree hot ass weather. He's so possessed and he wanted gang stalk so bad. He pulled up right when I pulled up. He stops by my car, looks at me in my face, then pulls up in this thick hot ass bootleg ass sweater. Look at him. Look at the asshole. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep pointing. Do y'all see how thick the sweater is? Do you see that this is a thick ass sweater? This is what I would have worn when I was living up north in Florida. When we were dealing with negative 32-degree weather and that type of thing. That's the type of sweater. I mean, it wouldn't be that design or that brand. I like different clothes. But anyway, whatever. That's the type of sweater I would have worn in that type of weather. I wouldn't wear that here on island right now as hot as it is. Demonic energy, some of them demons, not all of them. Demonic energy. Look at this. But y'all, I gotta go in the gas station. The guy that runs the gas station is even outside right now. I'm going in just now. I just had to record this shit, yo. Let me get the plate number too. There you go. That's the plate number. So I got the plate number, I got the face, everything. He really got the moment he was looking for, because I have never dealt with a gang stalker that aggressive here on island. I've dealt with some aggressive stuff. The most aggressive recently that I've dealt with was this guy that was trying to freaking push his way. This was the other day. I actually referenced this in the video I took down. Trying to push his way into traffic, and I'm pretty sure he knew I was coming, and almost hit my vehicle. I was kind of like, man, I should have actually let him hit me, because I really need money right now. I'm broke as hell right now. I'm working a minimum wage job due to the targeting and the sabotage, which they tried to gaslight me about this morning, and then when I throw on my video talking about my credentials and the fact that you can't make me forget what I have going on and the fact that I'm being impeded, you can't make me forget that. But yeah, at the moment, this was going on. I'm working a minimum wage job, one that I'm grateful for, one that I've worked for years. To me, security is one of the best supplemental income jobs you can work, but keyword being supplemental income. You can make a career off of it, I suppose, if you have other things going on. But typically, from what I've seen, most people use security as like a second source of income. And that's what I've done for years. It's such an easy job, and it's a decent pay for the level of relaxation, I guess you could say, that you get at the job. I don't want to say relaxation. You're supposed to be doing your job. You need to be up. You need to be patrolling. But it's not like it's hot, intense, right? It's not like it's something that requires a lot of brain work. It's not a lot of manual labor. And you're getting paid, right? So it's a good supplemental income job, but at the same time, it's still minimum wage. There are different, let me not make that about the profession. There are different security jobs and different ones that pay different amounts of money. But the one I'm working, I'm getting minimum wage. I'm not complaining about it. That's not what this is about. But I'm just letting you know at the moment, I'm working minimum wage and I'm making the lowest amount of money I've made in years. I just recently, I said this in one of my prior videos, heard from the tax person that's supposed to be filing my taxes, and I owe $3,000 and change for the year 2021 because my salary was $62,000. I had a car, I had an apartment. So understand, this is the lowest I've been in a long time. I'm in a very low state right now, and I'm working my way back up. But I want you to understand that I forgot why I was saying that. I lost my train of thought, y'all. That's crazy that I lost my train of thought. There's a reason why I was saying that. What made me say that? I know I'm gonna listen back and realize why I said that. There's a reason why I was saying that. What made me say that? Damn, I can't remember. It doesn't matter, y'all. Y'all know how it is with the ADD at this point. The banner says, talk with Sharifa, living with ADD and Asperger's. So, I mean, it's only fitting that we have these moments, right? Anyway, so just taking the plate, though. I'm giving him the attention he wanted. That's all I'm saying. He's getting the attention he wanted. Okay? Plate, face, you get to show off the off-brand thick-ass sweater you were wearing, the song you were playing that you so adamantly wanted me to hear. It's in my video now. All right, so let me continue. That's what I was saying. I was talking about the fact that I'm showing you the plate number because I feel threatened and I haven't dealt with a gang stalker as aggressive as him here on island. I've been here I should say, for 2 years. Remember, my targeting has changed since 2022 when I tried to relocate and all that shit popped off in the States. And I got back, my targeting changed. Even still, I haven't dealt with one as aggressive with him. I've dealt with a lot of gang stalking, a lot of strange things. This has been the worst, the most aggressive in the 2 years since I've been here. So he really had the moment he was looking for. Good job. The guy that almost tried to hit me though the other day, that was a little aggressive too. And I kind of popped off on him too because that day I was PMSing on top of everything else that was taking place. But he pushed his vehicle out aggressively, and almost hit me, and so I popped off. I was having a long day anyway. That was the day when I had met with my job, and certain things were said. I was having, like I said, PMS. My period had came that morning. I told y'all I had get very bad PMS. It was just a really bad day. That's what made me make the video. And I was telling you I hadn't had a bad day like that in a long time. And then here comes this guy pushing his vehicle out, almost hitting my vehicle. And so this is where I went off on him. I even parked in the road and put on my emergency signal, right? Just in defiance of. And so then he got like basity or whatever. You know what basity means, flustered. Made this angry face and then he eventually just turned off and went the other way. But that's the most aggressive I've dealt with recently, aside from what took place tonight. But this has been like the most aggressive. You're talking about kill switch, kill bitch, shooting them out, this and that. And then you have on the big thick ass sweater and you look like you have a spirit on your face similar to the spirit that was taking over the bodies or the vessels around Denzel in the movie Fallen. This was what this man's face looked like to me. All I saw was a demon. Especially when I'm hearing that type of music. You're on a different frequency to me. I don't even get down like that. But anyways, let me continue playing the video. So y'all, I want you to understand the demonic energy that some of them be on. They be on some demon energy, some of them. Demon time is what it's called. Right? I have gang stalkers that pull up on me and stuff and they're doing little petty stuff. But never that aggressive. That's the most aggressive gang stalker I have dealt with in months. I have not dealt with one like that. That one has a demon on him. You could tell. He has a demon on him. Y'all, they revving by, right? Because the name almost popped in my head. And remember, they can hear my thoughts with this high science technology in real time. So what I call it is a brain tick. Remember I told you when things try to pop in my head and I try to stop it and they hear it? It's called a brain tick. So I heard a slight rev in the background because obviously they're listening to my thoughts adamantly. Not adamantly, excuse me. They're listening to my thoughts invasively. That's what I meant to say. And what's going on is, remember I told y'all it's not photogenic memory, but you could say that I have something similar to photogenic memory. I remember faces, names, times, places from decades and years ago. And I told y'all it's been torture in this targeting because I live on a small island and my thoughts are being projected. So you can imagine how that feels when you start seeing faces you recognize, even if it's from like some slight interaction that happened decades ago. And you remember the face because that's just how your memory works. And then the person can hear your thoughts. So with him, I don't know this guy from anywhere, but the face looks familiar. And the strange thing about it is I get hundreds and hundreds of friend requests on Facebook. And this was happening prior to my targeting. I don't know, my page somehow I got spotlighted. This was before my targeting. And friend requests just started pumping in, right? When I created my page in 2021. But it's amped up even more since my targeting has started. I have a bunch of friend requests that I haven't even responded to because it's just too many. But the reason why I'm saying that is I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook that I don't even realize I'm friends with. One of the bus drivers, for instance, when I was catching the public transportation, I just recently realized I was friends with him on Facebook. I didn't even realize I was friends with him on Facebook. So I have people that I'm friends with on Facebook and I might have seen their face, and that's why the face looks familiar. I don't know if that's what's going on because his face, even though I don't know him from anywhere, no name ain't popping in my head. Something about his face looked familiar. And I started to have like this memory about this ex-boyfriend of mine from high school. that I talked about. I don't want to say this and then I'm putting the face to the wrong page. I don't want to be putting the face to the wrong page. So I don't want to say too much about that and then be wrong. But I had this ex-boyfriend from high school that I talked about in my videos. I'm not going to go into details about it. It was a very brief, where I mentioned him. This was decades ago. But he was in the military. And something about that guy's face looks like a face I might have seen on his Facebook page, I think. I'm not sure, so I'm going to do research. Obviously, I'm not going to go on now. They're staring at everything I'm doing. They'll be staring when I go on the guy's page, but they won't know that that's why I'm going on that person's page when I do decide to go on and do my research. But I'm thinking, is he connected to is that because it seemed personal? With some of the gang stalkers, you can tell they're just trying to be in things, or maybe I said something offensive and so they're doing stuff, whatever the case is. But this was one of those instances. I told you some of them, it almost would seem like I did something personal to you. You would swear I killed somebody for the man, or I slapped him, or I beat him, or, did something to him for him to be saying something as heinous as kill. You would think I had killed somebody or something of that nature. But I'm just putting the face. I know the face from somewhere and I don't know where. I can't put it together. I don't know where I know the face from. There's a lot of people holding grudges. Listen, this targeting has allowed some people that had problems with me from prior to my targeting to have their moment. I told you guys about this dude. I'm not saying I had anything with this dude. I don't remember him in that capacity. Never. Not like that. But he could be somebody from my past, maybe attached to somebody that I did date. I'm not sure. Remember I told you about this dude on the island, the neighboring island, that I talked to back in the days in my early 20s. Me and this guy talked. Right? And I decided I didn't like him like that. I realized, this is going to sound vain. This is something they've given me backlash for. I don't see anything wrong with having a preference. Just like I wasn't angry with that guy in high school that I talked about that seemed to have a preference for lighter skin. I have a right to have a preference too. It's not all about that. It's about your mental too and chemistry, etc. But anybody that says physical attraction doesn't play a part in things, they're lying to you. The guy was, I realized, a little bit too short for me. Right? Apparently the dude was holding a grudge for years I didn't know. So recently now when my targeting started, he sent me a friend request on Facebook. Not when it started. My targeting started in 2020. But when it amped up, remember it amped up in these last 2 years, right? So recently, listen, I don't understand. Why would you sit there and then be breathing hard? Then move. And, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting irritated because I'm making my video, right? And I have a gang stalker sitting on top of me. He's going to take a breath because I'm talking about the short thing. He's going to take a deep breath and put himself like my video is irritating. Then move. I don't even want you sitting by me. What? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's like madness with some of them. Anyways, let me continue what I'm saying. So anyways, I realized that, he was too short for me. I didn't like him like that. And so I was young and I was immature. And I kind of just, you could say, ghosted him. We weren't together. It's not like we were together or anything like that. We were just talking. I kind of just let him know I wasn't really looking for anything. And then back then, being immature, I didn't really know how to break it. People do this all the time. Girls do this all the time and they're not villainized for it. I was young. I was in my early 20s. I was young. There are girls that do this all the time, but everything you do, once you get targeted, gets spotlighted. And they try to villainize you. And they'll pull things from your past and try to villainize you for it, even though this is something young girls do all the time. Why do you think they have the term ghosted? Men do it too. Anyway, so I kind of ghosted him. And so now here years later, now that my targeting has changed and all these people are looking at me and whatever, I'm having some people that had issues with me or holding grudges from the past, attaching themselves to this targeting and trying to get involved and take a dig. So he added me on Facebook. I recognized him, right? So I just accepted the friend request. I noticed he sends me a message, and in the message, a video message, he's inserting innuendos and he's inserting stimuli and basically trying to bully me subliminally, conversation with innuendo in it, whatever you've been sensitized to, trying to bully me basically for what's going on. I talked about this in a private, I don't remember which one. I forgot what the dude was telling me. Some stupidness about, what was he telling me? I can't even remember now. It was months ago, y'all, when this thing happened. But I'm just saying, there are people from my past, from little small minor issues that everyone has, from time to time, like girls that might have ghosted a guy that you weren't really that serious about in your early 20s. Now you're targeted in some moment where they could take a dig. They'll attach themselves to the targeting and try to take a dig at you. I've had that happen several times. He's not the only one. I've had that happen with several guys from my past. It's happened several times now where they're taking this as a moment to take a dig at me. Not saying that's what's happening with this guy. I have good enough memory to know I never dealt with this guy in that way. I don't know him. I don't know his name. But the face looks familiar. And I, for some reason, feel like I'm getting a memory like I saw his picture on my ex-boyfriend from high school's Facebook page. I'm not sure. I don't want to be saying strippiness and then go to the page and realize I'm wrong. But that's what it's looking like. And if that's the case, then maybe that's what that was about. I'm not sure. But maybe that's what that was about, because that was extreme. So I'm not sure. I'm going to do my little research and stuff. But the face definitely did look familiar from somewhere in my past. I don't know if he dated one of my sisters. I doubt it. He don't look like anything they would like. But I don't really know. I don't know, y'all. The face looked familiar, though. Even when he came out the vehicle, the look on his face. I want y'all to watch the movie Fallen, right? When that satanic entity was hopping in the people around Denzel. And every time it hopped in them, it got this evil look on its face. That's what he had when he came out his vehicle. First of all, as soon as I pulled up, he pulls up next to me, goes, rum, rum, right? And then he stops, right, to make a point, stops by my window. Then he pulls up, right? He's blasting this thing about kill switch. Now, I've never seen this nigga in my life. So you talking about kill switch about somebody who doesn't even know you exist, you need to pray there's a demon on your ass, right? That's first of all. But second of all, okay, that's what you're doing, right? You come out in a thick-ass, hot-ass sweater in this heat. You know, it's like 90 degrees. This is how you have to know it's some sort of demonic possession. It's hot as fuck. Right now, I'm wearing my security shirt, y'all, and I'm so freaking hot, I want to rip it off. He's wearing a thick-ass army sweater. It looks like it's off-brand, right? Some off-brand, thick-ass army sweater, just to gang stalk and prove a point and to invoke wrath satanically, because that was done to get a reaction out of me. The only reaction I'm doing is recording, documentation, and showing you some of the satanic entities that are attached to this programming. I just wanted to show y'all. I took the plate, everything, his face, because that's the most aggressive gang stalker I've dealt with. I felt like I needed to document the plate number, the face, everything. That was a demon right there. Anyways, talk to you on the next one. Peace out. All right, y'all, so that's the documentation there. I just wanted to give him the moment that he so desperately wanted. He's made it to one of my videos now, and as you all know, my targeting is viral, so everyone on Island is watching. So his little moment has been televised now. He got the moment that he was looking for. I gave it to him, but also too, that's documentation for my protection, because I felt a spirit from him in a very bad energy, and I felt like I needed to document plate number, face, etc. Anyways, I'll talk to you on the next one, man. Peace out.